Nowadays, most of us can't name the first person to score 100 points in college basketball. Back in the 50s, when Bevo Francis was playing at Rio Grande College, he was a household name, and everyone knew Bevo. Here's the story behind this incredible event. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide to a rapid deep dive into sports history every day. Bevo Francis became a national sensation at a tiny Rio Grande College in southeastern Ohio. Born in a small town, Bevo Francis was one of 6 children in a working class family where his father was a miner and his mother was a farmer, and Bevo helped out wherever he could. But when he was younger, he suffered from anemia, which caused him to miss 2 years of school. This was something that challenged him throughout his athletic career and his life. Before becoming a legend in the game of basketball, he had to first work on himself and get himself healthy enough to play. He eventually grew to be 6'9", very large, even in today's age. But in the 1950s, most centers in the NBA weren't even 6'9". But it wasn't his height that made him so good. It was actually his shot. He continuously worked on it, practicing for over 8 hours a day. But Francis worked his way to high school as good as he could in the classroom. But his freshman year, he was ruled ineligible due to a transfer to a new school, and even rumors that his parents were given a house so he could move closer to the school and play for their team. But the next season, he made the varsity team, but again was declared ineligible before the first game due to issues with his grades. Then we get to his junior year of high school. He's given the number 32, as the coach, New Oliver, expects him to average at least 32 points. And he comes close, averaging 30 points and leading the team to a 23-2 record. But then he turned 20, he was no longer eligible to play in high school. But his coach took a job at Rio Grande College and got him accepted into the school. And the school was a very small school with only 94 students and only 38 men, with holes in the ceiling that would leak, and it seated less than 200 fans. But this is where Bevo Francis would set the college basketball world on fire. His coach had a plan to make Bevo Francis a national name. He would spend some of his own money to make sure that Francis' scoring totals were posted every week for the NCAA, and put together a 39-game schedule of low-level competition featuring junior colleges and NAIA schools. And on January 9th, 1953, is the day that shot him into the national spotlight. He scored 100 points versus Ashland Junior College. And it wasn't just his size, it was his shooting that gave it away. Scouts said that he shot so well that if they had a 3-point line, he would have made 135 points. It would have averaged, for the season, over 60 points a game. But when the season ended, he averaged 45 points a game and broke the single season record for a college player for most points in a season. But the did not honor this record, as he was playing lower competition and not facing adequate 4-year schools. That didn't stop him from continuing to score out of the gym. And the next season, they made sure they played NCAA schools, including a game at Madison Square Garden with almost 14,000 fans, as Rio Grande had a winning streak of 40, but they lost to Adelphi University, snapping their win streak, where Francis only had 32 points. But Francis broke his scoring record and averaged 46 points that season, a record that still holds to this day for the highest average for a 4-year college. After this season, he was offered a contract from the Harlem Globetrotters for $12,000 a year. He played on the white jersey team that they always played, known as the Boston Whirlwinds. And he said himself we would play for 2 quarters and then just clown around the rest of the game. And by 1956, he was drafted in the 3rd round by the Philadelphia Warriors. But he turned down the contract and opted to play against the Globetrotters. By the 1960s, he retired from basketball and worked in an Ohio steel mill for 20 years. Fortunately, the steel mill closed 6 months before his pension, but he finished his life reliving his glory days with his wife in the same house they bought in 1954. And he always said he wasn't a singer or a movie star. There was a time where everyone in the country could say they knew Bevo. Thank you for listening to today's Daily Sports History. If you like this, please give us a like or a follow wherever you're listening, and come back tomorrow for more Daily Sports History.